Good morning, everybody. It's a Saturday in Manhattan and actually a pretty nice looking day. Lately, I've been tussling with a scholar from Canada regarding Triadic philosophy, and if you're trying to explain your philosophical premises to somebody who is sharp, intellectual, and so forth and so on, you more or less have to be willing to explain what you mean when you say one thing and another. And one of the phrases that I've used to differentiate triadic philosophy from much philosophy, much nominalist philosophy, is to say that there's a distinction between triadic thought and binary thought. And that binary refers to dyadic thinking, where there's really only two stages in a thought. And very often it gets to be a kind of yes or no, or this or that, or, in my opinion, a kind of a my way or the highway iteration of conscious consideration of things. Now, to me, a beautiful example of binary thinking, which I offered to my Canadian friend, was the Iraq War. I take the Iraq War to have been a binary decision, an example of binary thinking, my way or the highway kind of mentality, which resulted in manifestly horrendous consequences that have done no good to any side of that conflict. That would be my judgment. Now you could sort of say, well, okay, you can easily say that triadic thought would have opened the door to something other than the shock and awe result that came so nauseatingly from the binary thinking behind the Iraq War. But it seems to me that binary thinking should be linked by anyone intellectual or philosopher who knows things to Peirce's, Charles Sanders Peirce's, clearly triadic thought. Now, what I took from Peirce, and I do not claim to represent him or to succeed him or even to follow him, but what I took from Peirce was the notion of threes, beginning with a sign, which I equate with reality, and moving to an index, which I equate with ethics, and ending up at a third, or a symbol. What he uses the term symbol to mean, in my view, a living reality, something in our reality. And so, right there, you have a distinction between a process of thought that is binary, which would never even get to a third, and one which explicitly goes to a third, and really actually, in terms of its understanding of semiosis, understands the first two are part of a lickety-split thought process that takes place before you get to a decision about action. Well, I probably talked enough. I don't want to belabor these videos. I do want to say, though, that binary and triadic, to me, do carry a lot of weight in establishing the wisdom of triadic philosophy. And I am going to add this to my triadic philosophy playlist on YouTube, and hope that by doing that it will encourage you to listen to more of these videos and to draw your own conclusions about the possibility of an open source philosophy created on Twitter by someone whose background cannot remotely be said to pass muster in the academy, even though I did have as many years of schooling as most PhDs. But I don't think triadic philosophy could have come from inside the academy. I just don't. I'm not even sure that any dominant new philosophy will ever come from the academy. I think it's going to come from social network dialogue. That's what I've staked my 2 cents on. Anyway, return, come back, enjoy, and have a nice day.